What's up, everybody? So, breaking news, and it's not good for the Brexiteers. It looks like in the last few minutes the Supreme Court has made its decision, and it finds that Boris Johnson's suspension of Parliament was unlawful. Well then, so the judges have been deciding on Boris Johnson's decision to prorogue Parliament for 5 weeks at the height of the Brexit crisis. We'll have a look at this article from The Guardian. Supreme Court has ruled that Boris Johnson's advice to the Queen that Parliament should be prorogued for 5 weeks at the height of the Brexit crisis was unlawful. The judgment from 11 justices on the UK's highest court follows an emergency 3-day hearing last week that exposed fundamental legal differences over interpreting the country's unwritten constitution. The first legal question the judges had to resolve was whether the Prime Minister's decision, exploiting residual royal prerogative powers, was justiciable and could consequently be subjected to scrutiny by the courts. The English High Court declined to intervene. The Scottish Appeal Court concluded that judges did have legal authority to act. So, this is all about the original case from Gina Miller, and the lawyers for the Scottish claimants said Johnson was motivated by improper purpose, namely avoiding parliamentary control over his policies. MPs and peers, they urged, should be recalled this week. So, what it amazes me is that the court has essentially found as to what Boris Johnson's reasons were, what his motivations were behind this prorogation. Now, Boris Johnson has been very clear in that he says it wasn't for the reasons that they're stating, but the court has obviously found that was the case. Now, does this mean that Parliament is going to be recalled? I think that's a very high likelihood of that. However, does this then stop Boris Johnson proroguing Parliament again? This is a question we're going to be seeing in the next couple of days. Could he just go to Parliament the day that it's due to be back and say we are prorogued again? Something has to be done. He has to have his powers. And could we be seeing another court case go through? Or are we going to see Boris Johnson holding up his hand and saying, fine, we'll have Parliament? This could lead to many, many weeks of absolute Brexit chaos as the Remainers in Parliament want to put forward even new measures to make sure that we do not leave on the 31st of October. It just appears to me at this point that we're in a situation where the Parliament is working absolutely against what the people of this country wanted and voted to do, and are going to do everything they can. So let's just hope that Boris Johnson and the Tories have got a plan for this. Let's just finish this briefly. Government lawyers told the court, which sits in Westminster directly opposite Parliament, that justices should not enter into such a politically sensitive area, which was legally forbidden territory and constitutionally an ill-defined minefield that the courts are not properly equipped to deal with. Well, absolutely, if you're looking at that. We don't have the courts making the laws in this country, and it is literally the Prime Minister's prerogative with the Queen to dismiss Parliament for such a reason. Perhaps what we need to do here is get the Queen's speech out of the way and Boris Johnson to prorogue again. And then it just goes on to say that there was rain when it was happened. So I did read another article that the rain made it actually very difficult to hear and had to apologise. But there you go. So that's just breaking news, guys and girls. We will cover this if anything more interesting come out, and we'll wait for a little bit to see what other kind of opinions that we are going to hear about this. Okay, thank you much for watching the video. Like, share, subscribe if you appreciate what we do.